go to negative rates and print, print, print. That's their only option. So behind closed doors, my guess is the only decision is who and where do we give the money to?
Now,
Remember, Dave, they did secretly lend out $16 trillion in 2008, early 2009. It was not discovered until 2010. So what prevents them from doing, another 32 trillion or 64 trillion or whatever?
nothing. I mean, they can do whatever they want. I mean,
Exactly. And Dave, I want to go back just a little bit to the Saudi thing. The ESF, the Fed, they can buy those sold treasuries, but what they can't do is if foreigners are selling dollars and pushing the value of the dollar down on international markets, they can't buy dollars by printing more dollars. They would either have to do that with foreign reserves or gold. We don't have a lot of foreign reserves. We have very little in the way of foreign reserves, and the thought was, why should we? Because we were the reserve currency. As far as the gold is concerned, I firmly believe that our gold has been mobilized over the last 10, 15, 20 years to suppress the price, and most of that is gone. So trying to support the dollar is that's the Achilles heel. That's what the Fed cannot do.
now there are rumors that the Fed is they were talking about creating more of this currency and handing it directly to the people.
Well, yeah, I saw that yesterday or the day before. Helicopter money.
Right.
Yeah, that's basically printing money. That's outright helicopter drop monetization.
I mean, do you think people are going to take the money and go spend it, or do you think they're going to keep it and hold on to it? If they actually did this, would this actually help?
If they actually do it, yeah, I think a lot of people will spend the money. It's obviously inflationary. Anybody who saved the money is an idiot because you're saving something that's going to go to zero. If it's free, what's it worth?
Mm. True.
I mean, really, that's the entire argument between fiat currency and gold and silver. Gold and silver, it takes real capital, real labor, real machinery to dig gold and silver out of the ground. It costs money to create that and turn it into usable form. It doesn't cost anything to create dollars. It doesn't cost anything to create euros, yen, pounds, whatever. They're just keystrokes on a computer. They're worthless, and that's what this is all about. It's real money versus fake money, and this is the end game. These are the end days of the current system.
We're in April, and many people are saying, "Oh, things are rapidly falling apart," and I don't know if we're going to make it to October, or maybe even before that. I mean, if we're talking about China coming online with the yuan, maybe it's going to be back with gold. We see that gold now is continually moving up since December. I think it's up, what, $200 or so at this point? And it seems like they were trying to suppress it, but they just can't bring it back to where it was. And we're seeing corporate earnings. It's a disaster. The whole thing's a complete disaster. And everything else that we're looking at is not looking good. So where is the economy going? I mean, what is going to happen next here?
This is the end game. And I've said all along, I believe the end game will be a collapse of the derivatives edifice. Derivatives have been used to price markets. They've been used to suppress markets, levitate markets, and the real economy itself is shrinking. The real economy spits off cash flow, so to speak, and that cash flow is declining because the economies are declining. The amount of debt, the amount of derivatives that the real economies must support have only gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. So we're getting to the point where the debt service, the collateral, the margin is not big enough to hold up the financial system. So while we're watching the real economy contract, I think you're gonna see a point in time, and I'm not so sure we're gonna get to October. I could see an unwind happen. You get a failure somewhere, and I've said many times, you get a big enough failure somewhere, and you'll see the entire system close within 48 hours.